Of course, it all depends if it's red last night. I know it's Valentine, the morning works look fine. You know the jockeys, brothers.
Hello racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the 7 races at Hastings on the Saturday, May the 4th program. But of course, all eyes will be on Churchill Downs as the 139th running of the Kentucky Derby, which goes about 3:20 today.
First Saturday in May. It's the biggest day in horse racing. Yeah, really exciting. Obviously, it'll be a full house here at the Derby, but come on by. There's, of course, you can stand around the bar and have a beer and watch the greatest 2 minutes in sports.
Yeah, you can go to Hastings as well. They have the giant screen up there. You can watch the race on the big infield screen. That is amazing, the quality of it. But you can. It's
supposed to be a beautiful day too.
It's going to be great weather, great racing. What else can you ask for? Canucks get a few wins too. That's what we can ask for.
Well, we can't ask for a miracle.
Anyway, just in case you missed it, last weekend we're going to recap the stake race, the Brighouse Bells
for older fillies and mares.
Yes, Evelyn's Dancer was on the outside in post 7, and number 1 Overvalued was on the inside. Those two seem to be the favorites, and we'll pick up the race from gate to wire.
Now watch the break here, Mike. If you see the one horse Overvalued, she does kind of stumble a little bit at the break, and I think it cost her.
Yeah, cost her position, Drew. Like she kind of just ducked inward as they get near the dogs.
Right
here.
there, yeah.
Watch, and she right about here, she kind of ducks inward there towards the inner rail, and that, which allowed Evelyn's Dancer to get out there and get. You know, she's too nice a mare to give those kind of fractions and that big a lead too. But those two mares, you know, they're in good position right now, and it was a good little horse. It was, you know, it had the makings of a really neat little race here.
It does, and you can see you're going to see the fraction come up here. Evelyn Dancer gets a 22 and 2. If she ends up, pretty
comfortable for these kind of fillies.
And I always say too, it's about pressure too, right? It's 22 and 2, and all by herself, which left alone, she's probably too good to have those kind of fractions, have that kind of advantage. You'll see she gets a 45 and 3 come up here, and Overvalued is going to take a run at her, but with 45, and like I say, no pressure, it's a lot to overcome for Overvalued.
Yeah, she's a mare that's run on Evelyn's Dancer.
Yeah.
After fast fractions, you look at her races last year. She had fast fractions and could go a mile, 16th mile, and an 8, so 6.5 is well within her scope. And as you mentioned, Overvalued makes a good run at her here. Things looked a little interesting, but of course,
Grider gets a couple left-handed. They're urging.
There was a little more in the tank, as there should have been, and
she finds another
off
gear.
To a nice run. Overvalued second. Trelawney, good third up the inside.
Really good,
Big run for Frank Barabee. But Evelyn's Dancer in the North American Thoroughbred Corp, a very easy win. Aaron Grider and Troy Taylor got the dough last weekend in the Brighouse Bells. Well, we got 7 races today.
That's right.
Let's get into the first race. Race number 1 at Hastings. Non-winners, a 3 lifetime, $4,000 claim. It's going to go 6.5 furlongs. I've landed on the 1, Eustonia, just a horse that had a tough trip last time. Kind of got bounced around leaving the gate. Was 3 wide early, 5 wide on the backstretch, 5 wide on the final turn. I kept waiting for, well, I really didn't notice this live, but I mean, I just ended up, wow, this horse is still running on at the end of the race. I was pretty impressed. So I'm going to give Eustonia a chance in a 5-horse field to maybe make amends. Might get 3 to 1 or 7 to 2.
Better not be 5 wide in here.
That'll be tough. I put the 2-horse Little Brown Guy in for second. Pretty cool horse that's run, not the most consistent type, but a horse that on occasion runs good races. Might be a little bit better going farther, but the work tab's decent. I put the 5-horse Dog Rock in for third. Kind of an in and outer. Just they put the blinkers back on him, though. He's been showing a little bit more speed. Speed might be dangerous in those races. Not a lot of pile of it in here. Mass Mailing might go with Dog Rock, but that's about it. But I think Dog Rock, you know, if left alone on the head end and can regain some of that earlier form, might be dangerous. But I like the 1, Eustonia. I think there's some value there. I want 1, 2, and 5.
I flip-flopped your top 2. I did go with Little Brown Guy. I just think he's been facing tougher horses most of his career. This seems like the softest spot he's to land in to date. A short field, there's not going to be too much problems. I like Aaron Grider taking the call. I agree with you. I Eustonia second, as I mentioned, just flip-flop those top 2. Eustonia definitely could. Mel Snowsbarn's
going good.
Going very good this year with Marlo Dunnup. And the third spot I put Mass Mailing out of the Robbie Anderson barn. The horse has an out that was over a sloppy track. It's going to be a dry track this weekend. Has the out, coming back second time, could show improvement. So I got 2, 1, and 3. On to the second, 3-year-olds and up for $15,000, and I have gone to the horse who won this race last time, Seminole Brave. Did it in nice style. He laid just off the pace and made a nice finishing move to outrun Storm and Proud Papa and Cabo Chico, who shows up in the 25 later on in tomorrow's card. The second spot, I did put Storm and Proud Papa. He's a cool old horse and always puts a good run in. Just couldn't run down Seminole Brave last time, but looked good for second. Third, sorry, just got beat by Cabo Chico for second. And in third spot, I put Iskar, a horse who exiting the same race, got about 3.5, beat about 3.5 lengths. It was his first start.
Didn't break well.
Yeah,
missed the break.
Missed the break a little bit. And Dino's horses have been firing, so I'm not going to get straight too far away from anything out of the Condoleezza barn, Swift Thoroughbreds, this far into the meet. So I have 1, 3, and 2.
I'm going to try the 5-horse, Drew. I'm going to go to the Lord Henry.
Mike.
Dropping from 25, get away from...
Going for the price, I like it.
Away from Pop Artist. Got away from Pop Artist and some pretty nice horses, Mia's Miracle and Stolen Otis. This horse kind of broke on top and then kind of got bumped and ended up shuffled back to last as they went down the backstretch and actually checked pretty severely as they did enter the backstretch. And this horse lost valuable position. Was running on well at the end of the race. He went in 11. I mean, that's like pretty fast. Yeah. And it drops in class. There's no speed in here. I think Lord Henry can get to the top, and that's why I'm playing. That's why I like this horse. If he gets to the lead, if he's going to lollygag and sit fourth and get hung out, I don't like him. But I mean, this Seminole Brave isn't super fast. This horse sat second last time and was willing to sit second. I just think Lord Henry might be a value horse that can get the lead in a paceless race. I'm going to put him on top, put Seminole Brave in for second, and Storm and Proud Papa, who's flashes speed on occasion, in for third, but he seems to have lost a little bit of his 22 flat type speed. He seems to be more comfortable just coming from off of it. But I try Lord Henry with Jeff Birmingham, 5-1-3 for me in the second. On to the third race, got some non-winners of 2 fillies and mares here. 4,000 claimers going 6.5. I landed on the 3-horse Stormageddon. I was pretty impressed with her maiden score. She didn't come back to get a picture taken. She ran around off the dumped Ryan Pacheco and ran around after the race. But there was some shenanigans going on, galloping out. I know there was a few. There was a couple of horses that were causing a bit of a ruckus, and Stormageddon ended up getting spooked and losing Ryan Pacheco. But I like the way this horse finished. This horse was finishing with good energy. The ears were pricked, which signals that there's more in the tank. This horse was just kind of funning. There's more there, and this is not a tough race, not a tough assignment. I know she's racing against some older fillies here, but I like her. She's got good positional speed. I think she can sit behind the 2, Script This, and the 7, Bella Sorella, and I think she gets a good trip, and I like her to win it. Put the 8, Free the Blues, who will likely be the favorite, in for second. Had a good rails run last time by Neil Ciervo, but still it was a fast heat. Likely the horse to beat. I mean, there's your logical horse, Free the Blues. And the 9-horse Doreen's Delight takes a class drop, blinker change. Maybe better will be in store for her. But I went 3, 8, and 9. I like Stormageddon. I
went with, as you mentioned, the horse is probably going to be the favorite, Free the Blues. Just ran into a monster last time in El Ciervo, a horse that was taking a big,
11 and change is fast for that level.
Pretty tough for that kind of level. And Cassidy Storm, the horse that she just beat by a nose, came back and won at 3.5 for fun last weekend. So she's surrounded by horses, her form's surrounded by horses that have won recently. So I landed on Free the Blues. The second spot I put Market Time because this horse loves to run second. 8 starts, 1 win, 5 seconds, and 1/3. 7 out of 8 in the money. Likes to hit the board. Fernando Perez takes over for the retired Chad Hoverson. And in third spot, I did put Stormageddon, as you mentioned, of the Tack Inouye barn. Nice maiden score. And a guy to watch, a value rider here, a very underrated rider, I think, is Ryan Pacheco.
Ryan rides good race.
He does a good,
he got on good with his filly.
Very good job.
There was a lot of horse there, I thought.
He doesn't get all the quality mounts, but definitely a guy to watch, especially a guy to throw into your supers and stuff like that. I think a lot of Ryan Pacheco. On to the fourth race, 3-year-olds and up, maiden 20. Speaking again of Mel Snow, I landed on his horse here, Balak, or if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Close enough.
Pretty good. Ran second behind a very well-met Ludwig out of the Dino Condoleezza barn. Last time, Marlo Dunn retains the call. Second start, Ludwig was much the best that day, but Ludwig I think would have been tough for 20 as well. So I got Balak Or on top. In the second spot I put Double Minor, a horse that's been entered once this year and scratched. They thought enough of it. They were running for maiden special weight before. Shows up first time for Melanie Walters, whose horse has been running well. For maiden 20, got that nice 47-1 move on April 26th. Robert Skelly rides for Melanie Walters. And the third spot, I put Bite Your Tongue out of the Robbie Anderson barn. A horse that was struggling early on in his career in those maiden special weights.
Yeah.
And near the end of last year, seemed to really be putting it together. I'm hoping that form can carry over into this year. I got Bite Your Tongue in third, 4, 2, and 7.
Yeah, I landed on the 2-horse double minor.
Yep.
I agree with that horse, Melanie Walters and Robert Skelly trying to hook up again. They won with none of that.
Very dangerous connections.
Yes, hot. Blinkers off. I like that with speed horses. I think they can see the competition coming, or maybe they'll relax better. That's the whole key. Sometimes pace horses that kind of show a lot of speed, that are a little runoff artists, might relax a little bit better without the blinkers. A little concerned about the vet scratch though 2 weeks ago, so I like the horse, but I'm not keying him or anything. I wouldn't key him in any pick fours. Definitely a race that has some...
Cautiously optimistic.
Yes, this race definitely has some... there's a lot of question marks in it, and this is a race you probably should play a few. I like double minor. I put the 5 de Corsa, who had a brutal trip last time.
Yeah.
This horse got shuffled back, squeezed. There was a lot. This horse did not get a great trip in that big 10-horse field last time. Should get a better go here. This is a much easier race for de Corsa. And Scott Williams could have rode a couple horses in here, and he ends up on this one. And I'm going to give the 6, My Dubai, a firster out of the Milton Palma barn. A colt by Joey Franco out of the mare Porus. And you'll notice later on the card, he's scamming because he's in the next day. But this horse won in its debut, was also out of the mare Porus. So that bodes, at least there's some history there with horses out of the mare winning in their debut. So My Dubai, not a tough spot to debut either. So I went 2, 5, and 6 in the 4th race, but a race that you need a few, I think. I don't mind your Bite the Tongue either. It's a block or it's a tough race. This is definitely
as you can see, we're kind of all over the place there because of...
On to the 5th race. Got a full gate of maiden special weighters here. Colts and Geldings going 6.5. I like the 4 Monaghy. I'm going to go to the gray out of the champion mare Monaghy. Battled well with Amazing Rosie, pardon me, and these two kind of hooked up a bit, and the pace was good. The final time was excellent. Yeah. That half of the split that day was 3 or 4 fifths faster than the other half. Yeah. So Monaghy, I thought, was coming out of the tougher race. I think this race didn't come up super tough, and especially with the 11-horse Bluegrass Pride drawing so poorly. I think things, look a little bit better for Monaghy in this race. So I'm going to go 4 and then 11, Bluegrass Pride, who goes in blinkers. I don't know if the horse needs blink. We'll see if the blinkers will help the horse focus a little bit. But I thought the horse ran on well last time. Just kind of circumstances got him. And I put the 2, Legal Bandit, who's coming in from Phoenix. Couple of good work since arriving at Hastings. Chased some fast paces down at Turf Paradise, but obviously things are tougher up here at Hastings than they are in Phoenix, but I put him in for 3rd. I like the 4-year-old in here, Monaghy. I went 4, 11, and 2.
I do have the 11 on top. That was, I think they ran into a really nice horse last time, Amazing Rosie, and did a good job to get somewhat close to Amazing Rosie. I got Bluegrass Pride, I should say, on top. In the 2nd spot, I put Whose Daddy Is Dat. He ran 2nd in the other half of the split that day to a very well-meant Stole It. Stole It looked like a very nice horse too, and he was flying at the end. So if there's a pace to run at, Whose Daddy Is Dat, for sure we'll be closing into it. And the 3rd spot, I agree, Legal Bandit, a horse that has been running his Phoenix, so he's definitely fit. Again, Richard Hamill probably had some options in here. He elects to go with Legal Bandit, so I put him in for the try. I got 11, 8, and 2. On to the 6th race. 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2. BC Breds, non-winners of 3. And I've gone to the 3. Yes, he's trouble. Ran into a very good Rockin' Cherokee last time, who shows up tomorrow in that 25 as well. Very good race out of the Pedro Alvarado barn. He was clearly 2nd best. I don't see, other than Royal Victor is the newcomer in here. He's beat all these last time, so I'm going to stick with Yes, He's Trouble. In the 2nd spot, I put Wayland Jack. The horse ran 3rd in that race. My picks aren't very exciting here. I'm just kind of going with the horses that ran 2nd and 3rd in these races last time. And in 3rd, I put Deputy's Command. He was beat 8 lengths last time, but he had a pretty troubled trip. 2nd start off the bench for Craig McPherson barn. I think he'll be tougher. Fernando Perez retains the mount. I got 3, 2, and 1.
Your picks may not be exciting, but they win. That's all that matters.
That's
Your
what
cash
counts,
and tickets. This race, Drew, I went to the 7. I went to Royal Victor. I think this horse is going to.
He's a pretty cool horse.
I like your 3 horses, the 1, 2, and 3,
yeah.
but they're all way off the pace, so they're coming from way out of it.
Yeah.
And, a little concerned with the pace scenario here, and I don't see a pile of it. Joint, maybe the 9 and 10 will flash speed, but I mean, I think Royal Victor, who is versatile, can get a good trip and be quite dangerous. Rob Van Overschot can get horses ready to win off layoffs, and this horse beat a lot of these horses last year, and the price might be right. So let's try the 7 Royal Victor, put the 5 Muzzle Print, who another one that ran big races last year, chased fast paces, going long and carried on. It's a nice horse, Muzzle Print. He's got some issues. He's kind of a little bit of a clown at times in the mornings, and but one thing he can do is run, and he's a cool horse. He's worked well for Brian O'Connell. And I put the 3 Yes He's Trouble in for third. I went 7, 5, and 3. Just kind of tried to get someone up on the pace, and those are the 2 horses I thought that would be up near there, so I'm going to try them. 7, 5, 3 for me. On to the 7th and final race. Got some $5,000 claimers going 6.5 furlongs. Another big field. Got good fields today.
Yeah, good field sizes all weekend, actually. Yeah.
We got a lot of 10 and 11 horse fields.
Yeah. Good betting races.
Yes. I'm going to go to the 12 because I got beat by Monster in Closet last week. I didn't pick Monster in the Closet because it wasn't in the race. Yeah. And so I didn't have it top 3.
We know Fleet Mac is in this race.
Fleet Mac, he is in?
Yeah, he's in because who's out?
I picked him.
Who's out? Time Machine is in the 3.5 on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So he's in.
I like a Fleet. There you go. A Fleet Mac. Pretty impressed with. I know the horse only ran twice last year, but both races were very impressive. This horse can go 44 and change and keep going. And Carl Lawson's horse has been running. That's the win, won by about 5
that
or 6
was a nice
last
race,
week.
Yeah, by
Here's
a nice
Carl's got his horses. Wayland Jack ran well first time out.
Yeah.
He's got his horses ready, and the string of works on Fleet Mac signals to me he's ready. So I didn't want to leave him out, even though I had him on the Alsos. But as you mentioned, he's in. The 5 horse Ice Rules for me for second. Looks like if Fleet Mac can't make it the whole way and gets pressured hard on the head end, Ice Rules is your lock. I think that you're off the pace, best off the pace horse in the race. So I don't mind Ice Rules. This horse kind of got stymied behind horses, still ended up winning pretty comfortably. I know this is a tougher race, but still a horse that ran very good and looked ready for John Snow. And the 9 horse Alberta Breeze, I'll put him in for Mel Beveridge. Just a horse that. He come running on late, he might benefit from a hot pace as well. So I'm going to close it out with 12, 5, and 9.
I went to the 7 Country Kid, who, when they wrote this race earlier in the year, it was for $4,000. Now it's for $5,000, which makes him eligible. And he won absolutely for fun. That was very crafty. Oh, Uncle Frank, he's a crafty one. He's tricky. Got a 72 buyer, 1 for fun under Marlowe Dunn. All systems go, I say. Marlowe Dunn is going to ride a Fleet Mac. I'm not sure who's on Country Kid, but I know Marlowe is signing with a Fleet Mac. Another reason to take him. Marlowe's off to a good start this year, too. I do have a Fleet Mac in second. What do you say about a horse that's run 29 times and win 9 of them? He knows where the wire is, and always very tough horse for good friends of the Derby, Mr. and Mrs. Corrigan.
Yeah, Doug and Mark.
And on to in the third spot.
Your horse.
I know. I'm taking him. Here comes Lucky.
Blinker change. Blinkers off.
Yeah, we got the blinkers off. Maybe he'll
regain his
see the light or something. He's just a head scratcher. He has the back class. He just hasn't been able to put it together. I don't know what happened last time. He was in a decent spot and he just.
If you ask Glenn, I don't think head scratch would be the word he'd give you.
He did not run. The light's got to go on at some point.
Yeah, no, he's got some talent there.
Yeah, so I'll put him in for the third spot. Maybe he can surprise. I got 7, 12, and 8, and that'll do it for our Saturday Hastings card.
Yeah, we'll take a quick look at our recap of our selections, and then we'll get into the Kentucky Derby. Of course, we gotta get into that. But here's a look at our selections for the Saturday card. Back in race number 1, I went to the 1 Eustonia 125. In race number 2, I was with the 5. I'm going to try and call for a bit of an upset with Lord Henry 513. Third race number 3 Stormageddon 389. Fourth race number 2 Double Minor 256. Fifth race number 4 Monaghy 411 and 2. Sixth race number 7, pardon me, Royal Victor 7-5 and 3, and then the 7th race number 12 a Fleet Mac over the 5 and 9.
And on to my picks. There we go. In the first race, I went with the 2 Little Brown Guy over the 1 and the 3. In the second race, I went with the 1 Seminole Brave over the 3 and the 2. On to the third, I went with the 8 Free the Blues over the 1 and 3. In the 4th, I took the 4, Balak Or, over the 2 and the 7. In the 5th, I went with the 11, way to the outside of the 11, Bluegrass Pride, over the 8 and 2. In the 6th, I went with the 3, Yes, He's Trouble, over 2 and 1. And in the 7th, I went with the 7, Country Kid, over the 12 and 8.
Well, yes, tomorrow is a big afternoon. Of course, in Louisville, Kentucky, as it is the 139th running of the Kentucky Derby. And got a field of 19. Number 1, Black Onyx, is scratched.
Yeah, that's right. There was a scratch.
And, of course, he was scratched just late enough where the 21 horse couldn't get in the race. Not often you get a chance to say the 21 couldn't get in, but the 1 and 21 are scratched out of the Derby, so there's only 19 of them.
Well,
so it makes it a little easier.
Save me a little money on my all button.
I'll go first. I'm gonna go to the 9 over analyzed. I don't have a strong pick in this race, but I'm gonna go to the 9 over analyzed. This horse last year ran against some of the top 2-year-olds, defeated one of the favorites, Normandy Invasion, in the Remsen in New York. Ran a big race that day, showing that he has kind of tractable speed, and I think that'll be the key. Some of these horses drift back a little too far. I don't think there's going to be a crazy breakneck 44, 45 and change type pace in this year's Derby. So I think someone, if you're a closer, you still have to be, I think, in the first half of the field. Yeah. And here's a horse that I think under Rafael Bejarano can sit in a pretty favorable spot early, nicely drawn right in the middle in post 9. First time out this year, ran in the Gotham. Had a brutally wide trip from the 11 hole, was beaten 4 lengths by then the undefeated Vijack. So I didn't put a whole lot of stock in it. I thought it was a good race, but then came back and suffered from another tough trip in the Arkansas Derby. I know the quality of the field was not super strong, but this horse overcame everything and won very easily. I just think he's a horse going the right way. Could work over the Churchill course. I love Rafael Bejarano. This guy rides good. He's won a pile of races at Churchill too before he went out west to California.
Especially when the money's on the line, you can count on Rafael.
So I'm going to try Todd Pletcher's overanalyze, and we watched Todd Pletcher's Lesser Light, Princess of Silmar, won the Oaks, where Dreaming of Julia did, and
had a bit of a rough trip.
Mugged at the start, but still just shows you sometimes when you go to Lesser Light in a top stable, you can get some value. Yeah. And I put the 5 Normandy Invasion in for second. Chad Brown and Javier Castellano hooking up. This horse is live. Good second to Verrazano after unfavorable fractions for him. This horse looks like the 1.25 mile is going to suit him to a T. And I know the connections here at the Derby Bar and Grill will be cheering very favorably for him, as Glenn and the North American Thoroughbred Corp do have a half-brother to Normandy Invasion called Boston Bound, who a nice 2-year-old.
I think you'll see him next week at Hastings.
That'll be interesting to see. We'll see how Normandy Invasion does, and then should be definitely enhance the value of that one.
I'd say so, yes.
And in the 3rd spot, I put the 19 Java's War, owned by Kelowna's Chuck Fipke. This horse, very nice win on the synthetic track last time. But still in the bluegrass, but still a horse that's handled the regular dirt anyway. He's a horse that'll be flying late. We'll see if the 19s can do it again. Of course, Mario did it very nicely with I'll Have Another from the 19 post in the 2012 Derby. We'll see if the 19s can continue with Java's War. But I went 9, 5, and 19.
I went with the 5. I went with Normandy Invasion. That run in the wood was, I just thought, a corker of a race. It took him a while, as you mentioned, slow fractions. And it took him a while to get out and to get to the outside.
Rolling late.
He was really rolling late. Verrazano, a lot of people picked to win this race. You know, he's going to be one of your favorites. A lot of people think he's the most talented horse in the race. And if this horse had got out earlier, or there had been a little bit more to pace to run at, I think he beats Verrazano that day. So I landed on Normandy Invasion. In the 2nd spot, I took Orb, the horse who is actually the morning line favorite. Shug McGahee's horse in here, and he's done nothing wrong this year. He is putting together wins, and in the Fountain Youth and the Florida Derby. A very nice horse by Malibu Moon out of an unbridled mare.
Undefeated
Hall of Fame connections behind him. The hottest rider in the country right now is Joel Rosario. Just set a record at Keeneland for most wins at the spring meet.
Ramses and Mike Maker, they're killing him.
Yeah, just setting the world on fire. And in the 3rd spot, this is the one I picked with my heart, is Golden Sense out of the Doug O'Neill barn. Kevin Krieger, who rode up here one fall about 5 or 6 years ago. He won the Ballerina on Gin's Majesty for Tim McCanna. A really good guy, was a regular rider in Seattle, as I mentioned, come up here and rode a few times. Really good guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. I go with Kevin Krager in the third spot. I'd love to see him win it.
That'd be cool. It's kind of like another Mario
very
Vieira
similar to the Mario story. Went down there,
from smaller track, and then
got on a horse for Doug O'Neill and went to the show. So that's the one I picked with my heart. I'd love to see Golden Sense win, but I did go Normandy Invasion on top with Orb and Golden Sense.
All right.
I think we have a slate for this.
Yes,
too,
we do. Let's just take a quick recap. Here's my picks: 9, 5, and 19, and then Drew's selections will be up next with the 5 Normandy Invasion on top.
Where's my picks?
Orb.
Won't punch my ticket out. I got Normandy
5, 16,
Invasion.
Some oddball numbers.
That's right. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Bingo.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of Handicappers Corner. Don't forget, come down here to the Derby Bar. If you can't make it out to Hastings and watch it on the big screen, come on down to the Derby Bar and Grill. It'll be a festive atmosphere. Should be a great day. Things start early too, so you can get out here at 8 in the morning and.
Actually, we open at 7 because we are open for the very first race at Churchill. We got the whole card.
All right,
so you can build up your bankroll before the Derby gets here, so you really make some money.
All right, thanks for tuning in to Handicappers Corner, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy a great Kentucky Derby day.
Guys got him figured at 5 to 9, but make it efforts half. He wins it by a half. According to this here.